the Gizeh has been one of the most iconic styles in the Birkenstock line of all time. We got a ton of colors to pick from, which is really awesome. And I'll go through those, and then we're gonna bring Courtney in, and she's gonna explain why the Gizeh is so popular. So here we go, let's start. Over here in the corner, this one, or on the top, the 2-pack I have right there, that is the Mocha. So we start with Mocha. Then moving over here, we're gonna go black, and that's a great matte black. I love when Birkenstock does their black. This is a silver, and again, it's got that awesome silver look. Here's your white. Think of it as an ivory white. The next one's gonna be toffee. Then we have onyx, love that. That's like a pewter gray. We have antique lace, that's like a creamy pearlized white. So think cream pearlized. Then over here, this is gonna be called licorice. And again, as opposed to the matte, this has got a bit more shine. It is a black licorice. Then we have what's called the gold brown combo. And then finally at the very end, this is gonna be your gold. Isn't that pretty? If you love your metallics, there's your gold. Okay, size-wise. In Birkenstocks, we do 5, 5.5, up through 11, 11.5. So what you wanna do, and again, we'll kind of get into that with Courtney. She can kind of explain the sizing for you. But let's get to her. Hi, Courtney, welcome. It's good to have you with us.
How are you? Good to see you again.
I'm good, are you doing well?
Doing well. I'm doing really, really good, as a matter of fact.
I'm glad to hear that. Well, we've got a great hour together, and we're starting off with one of the all-time favorites.
Yes, the Gizeh. You cannot go wrong with this silhouette. It is one of my favorites because it's something a little different from Birkenstock. It actually is a lot more feminine than you think of our classic Arizona. It elongates the foot, which I think is really pretty, and it's fully adjustable. And let's not forget, it's on our classic Birkenstock footbed, which really is the DNA of our brand.
True, and let's kind of explain that. Let's talk about, well, first off, the history of Birkenstock. I mean, they're a company that is world-renowned. They've sold millions and millions and millions of pairs, and they've been around for a very, very long time.
Yeah. We've been around since 1774. We're a 200+ year company. We're still family owned. We're made in Germany, which, I mean, not a lot of brands can say that. Really not many brands can say that, honestly. And it's the heritage and the craftsmanship that go into Birkenstock that you cannot beat. If you own a pair of Birkenstocks, you know that they will last forever. It's that quality that is in the brand. And it really started out with as an orthopedic footwear brand. That was insoles, and then we made our first sandal, the Madrid, and then it was brought to the U.S. in the 1960s by a lady named Margot Fraser, who fell in love with the brand when she was traveling in Germany.
Isn't that wonderful? And like you said, there's been devoted fans. I mean, there's literally generational fans. It's a great-grandmother, a grandmother, a mother, and a daughter all wearing Birkenstock. And you know, I think that speaks volumes for the loyalty of the Birkenstock customer and for the brand to be around so long in a very crowded footwear industry. And that's because people really experience a dramatic difference wearing a Birkenstock, don't they?
Yeah, it's really about the footbed, and I cannot say enough about the Birkenstock footbed. It all started with this footbed, and let me tell you a little bit about it so you can understand. It's almost like walking in sand. You know, when you walk on a beach, the first thing you're going to see is your heel kind of digs in a little more into that sand, and that's what that deep heel cup is mimicking, like walking in the sand. It's going to cradle your heel and really stabilize your heel. And then the contoured footbed, that is going to support all the arches of your foot. The roomy toe box, it's going to allow your toes to move freely. And then you have that toe bar, which is going to encourage a natural gripping motion. And that in turn is going to create circulation when you walk in your legs. I cannot say enough about this footbed. The more you wear it, the more comfortable it becomes. It almost becomes like a custom orthotic. It's like magic.
And you know, it's so funny. You'll talk to anybody. If you see somebody wearing a Birkenstock, all you have to say is, oh, those are great Birkenstocks. And they'll stand there for an hour and tell you how great they are.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I think when you first start to wear Birkenstock, you like them, right?
Right.
The more you wear them, then you just love them. They are the most comfortable sandal you are ever going to put on your feet. And I mean, that's a testament to our brand. People who start wearing them are forever fans.
Yeah, oh my
They don't
gosh,
regret.
yes.
Yeah.
And it's funny, you would think after a few years you guys should make them so they just dissolve magically, but the darn things last for years and years to come.
Well, they do, but I always recommend getting a new pair probably every season just to make sure you're kind of up and up with like the new things that are going on with our brand and the new materials and the pretty
Sure.
colors. But yes, they do. They last forever. So you know when you purchase a Birkenstock, you're getting quality footwear,
Yes.
and you know it's going to last for a really, really long time.
Yeah. What is the thing that someone would say if they've been wearing anything other than Birkenstock? What do they say the first time they slip one on? What's their first reaction?
I think that people are going to really notice the arch support. That's what people notice most about the footbed. It's going to support your arches, and at first, some people might find it to be a tad bit uncomfortable. That's why we say, you know what? When you first get your Birkenstocks, just wear them a couple hours a day. Do not wear them a full day, because what it's doing, it's changing the way your foot is supported and your arches are supported. So wear them a couple hours a day until your feet get used to them, and then I tell you, once you can handle like a full day in your Birkenstock, you are not going to put anything else on your feet.
Well, you know, it's funny. I've seen women in the middle of winter wearing Birkenstock with socks. Like they do. They love their Birkenstocks so much that they're willing to wear them with socks.
Right.
And you're just like,
Yeah.
and because they don't want to wear anything else. You know, once you go and again, you get comfortable with that fit, what it's doing really in essence, Courtney, it's correcting the bad shoes you've been wearing for a long time.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and that really is the DNA of that footbed. And, you know, a long time ago when the Birkenstock brothers, the father, they were creating this footbed, that's what they were thinking. Like, how is, you know, a footbed, and when you really are, you know, like on your feet, and how would a orthotic really fit? And that is the point of that deep heel cup, because it's really relieving the pressure off of your heel, and it's just going to cradle and stabilize it, and it's really aligning your whole body. It just kind of pulls it up and aligns you. It is
100%.
so incredibly comfortable. And what I love too is that toe box is really wide, and the best part about it is you're not going to feel like your toes are squished, which becomes uncomfortable, right? They're just going to be allowed to just lay and rest, which I think is, you know, what they really naturally want to do.
Right. They don't want to be squished up and tight in a little pointy toe. Okay, let's talk sizing, because we start 5, 5.5 through 11 and 11.5. How do I know what size to go with in Birkenstock?
Yeah, so we do what we consider whole sizes only. So it goes 5, 5.5, 6, 6.5, 7, 7.5, and on. I wear a 9.5, and I fall truly into that 9, 9.5. So I always say it's true to size, but the most important part about the fit is making sure that your heel is actually inside that heel cup and you're not falling out the back, and you do not want your toes to touch that upper lip, because if they're rubbing on that top lip, then it's going to be too small. You will know the minute you put your Birkenstock on, if your heel is in that heel cup and your toes are not hitting that little front lip of that toe box, then it's a good fit. You'll feel the arch support immediately, and that toe bar will rest right underneath your toes.
Right, and the nice thing about what we're doing is you have 90 days to figure that out. You won't need 90 days. You'll know right away it's going to work or not. And again, very honest, very true to size. I have an 8.5. I am wearing the 8.5 right now, and it's exactly the way it should fit. So anyway, this is available 90 days to try it out. So, you know, you'll know right away. If you don't love it in 3 months, you can still send it back for a refund. This is really a great period to try Birkenstock, because of sort of that period you need to get your foot used to it. So it's a nice way to be able, instead of 30 days, to really be able to test this out, to really experience its full comfort. All right, so tons of colors there. Stay in the line for it. Go to .com and you can check out all the other options.